Hello, preschoolers. Do you remember our song, Clap, Shake, and Roll? Do you want to try singing it with me? We'll just do the clapping part this time. All right, here we go. I clap my hands. 1, 2, 3, I shake my hands. 4, 5, 6, I roll my hands. 7, 8, 9, and 10. I do it again. I clap my hands. 1, 2, 3, I shake my hands. 4, 5, 6, I roll my hands. 7, 8, 9, and 10. And that's the end. I clap, shake, and roll. I clap, shake, and roll. Here's the tricky part. I clap, clap, shake, shake, and roll. Good job. Thank you for singing with me. Well, today I have a story called Baby Rattlesnake, and it's about a baby rattlesnake and something that he wants so badly that he cries and cries and cries. So let's find out what it is that rattlesnake wants. Out in the place where the rattlesnakes lived, there was a little baby rattlesnake who cried all the time because he did not have a rattle. He's a rattlesnake without a rattle. So rattlesnakes have a little thing at the end of their tail, and when they shake their tail, it sounds like a rattle. It goes rattle, rattle, rattle. He said to his mother and father, I don't know why I don't have a rattle. I'm made just like my brother and sister. How can I be a rattlesnake if I don't have a rattle? Mother and father rattlesnake said, you are too young to have a rattle. When you get to be as old as your brother and sister, you will have a rattle too. So apparently, baby rattlesnakes don't have their rattle until they grow up and get older. That's one thing that happens when they get older. But baby rattlesnake did not want to wait, so he just cried and cried. He shook his tail, and when he couldn't hear a rattle sound, he cried even louder. Mother and father said, shh, shh, shh. Brother and sister said, shh, shh, shh. He must be crying very loudly. But baby rattlesnake wouldn't stop crying. He kept the rattlesnake people awake all night. So these are the other rattlesnakes. And it looks like there's a lizard too. So he's keeping everybody awake with his crying. The next morning, the rattlesnake people called a big council. They talked and they talked just like people do, but they couldn't decide how to make that little baby rattlesnake happy. He didn't want anything else but a rattle. At last, one of the elders, that's one of the older rattlesnakes, said, go ahead, give him a rattle. He's too young and he'll get into trouble, but let him learn a lesson. I just want to get some sleep. So they gave baby rattlesnake a rattle. Baby rattlesnake loved his rattle. He shook his tail, and for the first time he heard ch-ch-ch, ch-ch-ch. He was so excited. He sang a rattle song. Ch-ch-ch, ch-ch-ch. He danced a rattle dance. Ch-ch-ch, ch-ch-ch. There he is, shaking his rattle and making noise. Soon baby rattlesnake learned to play tricks with his rattle. He hid in the rocks, and when the small animals came by, he darted out and started rattling. He made Jackrabbit jump. He made Old Man Turtle jump. He made Prairie Dog jump. Each time baby rattlesnake laughed and laughed. He thought it was fun to scare the animal people. So he would hide, and when the animal people went by, he'd jump out and shake his rattle and frighten them or startle them. Mother and father warned baby rattlesnake, you must not use your rattle in such a way. Big brother and big sister said, "You are not being careful with your rattle." The rattlesnake people told baby rattlesnake to stop acting so foolish with his rattle. Baby rattlesnake did not listen. One day, baby rattlesnake said to his mother and father, "How will I know a chief's daughter when I see her?" "Well, she's usually very beautiful and walks with her head held high," said father. "And she's very neat in her dress," added mother. "Why do you want to know?" asked father. "Because I want to scare her," said baby rattlesnake. And he started right off down the path before his mother and father could warn him never to do a thing like that. So there's the chief's daughter. She's a person, and he's going to scare her. The little fellow reached the place where the Indians traveled. He curled himself up on a log, and he started rattling. Ch-ch-ch. He was having a wonderful time. All of a sudden, he saw a beautiful maiden coming toward him from a long way off. She walked with her head held high, and she was very neat in her dress. "Ah," thought baby rattlesnake, "she must be the chief's daughter." So here she comes down the path, and he's waiting. Baby rattlesnake hid in the rocks. He was excited. This was going to be his best trick. He waited and waited. The chief's daughter came closer and closer. When she was in just the right spot, he darted out of the rocks. Ch-ch-ch. Do you think he scared her? Let's see. "Ho!" cried the chief's daughter. She whirled around, stepping on baby rattlesnake, She whirled around, stepping on baby rattlesnake's rattle and crushing it to pieces. Oh, she's stepping right on his rattle. Oh, no. Baby rattlesnake looked at his beautiful rattle scattered all over the trail. It's ruined. It's broken. He didn't know what to do. He took off for home as fast as he could. With great sobs, he told his mother and father what had happened. They wiped his tears and gave him big rattlesnake hugs. For the rest of that day, baby rattlesnake stayed safe and snug close by his rattlesnake family. And I'll bet when he's bigger and older and really gets his own rattle, do you think he's going to try to scare people with it or startle them? I don't think so. I think he probably learned his lesson. That's not nice to jump out and startle people. It might have seemed funny to baby rattlesnake, but it wasn't funny to everyone else. Well, what I would like you to do for homework today is think of something that, like baby rattlesnake, when he was a baby, he didn't have a rattle and he couldn't make a rattle noise. So he wanted to grow up in a hurry so he could have a rattle and do that. So I'd like you to think of something that you would like to be able to do when you're grown up. When you're all grown up, would you like to be able to drive a car or go to the store by yourself? Or maybe there's a certain job you want to have when you're grown up. So think of something that you would like to do when you're all grown up and then draw a picture of it. And if you want to, you can send me a picture and let me know what you'd like to do or what you'd like to be when you're grown up. So that's all for today. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.